Hey guys, welcome to Friday. Christopher's back there reading his book. He's reading Seveneves by Neil Stephenson. And yesterday, after we ended the vlog, he was like, oh, you should have showed like some of the stuff you're doing in your books and with your lists and stuff. And I was like, you know what, I could show that. So I'm going to show some of that right now. Oh my gosh, I feel like this is like the bullet journaling all over again. I do want to get back into bullet journaling, and this is the kind of stuff I would put in a bullet journal, just not in a bullet journal. So I figured I'd show you. And I'm even using my pens that I bought because they're really good even on just normal notebook paper. They don't bleed through, so that is excellent. As long as you don't like hold it onto the paper for like 30 seconds and like then it would bleed through, obviously. I'll just show you. So this is just a 3-subject notebook. The first thing I have is is what I was doing for all of August, pretty much. I did this. I'd write out like how many hours I wanted to listen to each day. I don't have the notebook with that on there originally, but I would just write out like what hour I wanted to get to, and I was pacing myself to do about 3 sections every day, 2 to 3 depending, because that was how I could get through books, and it didn't seem overwhelming to me. But I haven't done that a ton in this one because this goes from the 13th all the way down to the 13th, so it can fit a whole month in there, so I don't really need to like write it out. And some of them I listened to first and things like that, and neither of the pages are very filled because I've started doing something else in there, but that's fine. The next section that I have in here is for going along with Mark Reads, who I think I mentioned on the vlog. I don't remember. He's marvelous, and I'm listening to him read the Discworld series, so Color of Magic, which I've already finished, and the Enchanted Forest Chronicles for like the 18th time. So Searching for Dragons is the second book in that, and then I've also started Calling on Dragons, which I think is only on the next page. So yeah, and so I'll like mark off how many chapters I've gotten through and such of them, but I got like really far ahead. Like I'm already completely caught up through like the middle of next month. So I mean, it's just a nice way to pace myself and like not listen for weeks at a time or fizzle out of it. And this I have written out all the way through the end of the year. So yay. And then after I finish the Enchanted Forest Chronicles, I need to figure out something else to like pop in there. So the third section in here, the final section, is I want to, for every new series I start, I would like to read 2 sequels first to any series, and so I'm obviously behind in that. I started this at the beginning of August and kind of been going from there. So I'm writing out like the books that I've started or I know I'm going to be reading in the next few days or weeks. 2 of these will equal that. Pretty simple, and it's just like nice to keep track and realize I'm starting way too many series and not reading enough sequels. So that's the first notebook I've been writing in, which is lovely. This next one is going through authors that I want to read all the books by, because I'm like read several of their books already and I just haven't read all their works yet. So like I made a rough list of them. There's a few that I actually haven't written out all the books for, but like Tamara Pierce. I just wrote out all the books because even though I have read many of her books, I would like to reread them and finish the series. So these are all her books set in one of her universes, and these are all the books set in another one of her universes, not including books that don't come out yet. Like there's several books that are coming out next year that I haven't written in yet. And then these are all the books that I haven't read by Gail Carson Levine yet, which is sad. Like I just need to finish up those last few books and I'll be completely caught up. I have Patricia C. Reedy, Diana Wynne Jones, which she takes up whole pages, and what I do with series is I will write out the series name and then all the books from it, and then the series name and then all the books from it, and just write single books, and then I can just cross them off as I go. And I also put in some like romance authors that I would like to read all the books by because they're wonderful, of course, and I just want to catch up on their stuff. So, and then I just cross them off, and I'd like to get to 2 or 3 of the books from these authors just in general every month and just like work my way through because it's shameful. I also stuck the whole Artemis Fowl series in because I want to reread it anyway, so even though I've already read like all of these except for the last one, I still did that. Personal preference, and it's just kind of fun, and then I can cross them off and finally read all the books by some of these authors. My last notebook is something that I got the idea from Jacqueline on Twitter. We can link her Twitter because she's lovely. But she does like a lot of stuff like this, and it is like a reading notebook. And so she does like what the week is. I'm currently reading this week's goals and books. So this is what you're bringing into the week. This week's books and goals, total pages, pages per day, and then your goals for that day, and then your pages at the end. Just started that. I'm going to see how I like it, and if I don't love it, I can always rip up the pages and use this journal for something else. It's so sparkly and beautiful. And then this is a planner that I got from like the Dollar Tree years ago. So again, it's kind of similar to how I was doing like my audiobook listening and the black one. And so like I'll just write out what page I want to get to in each of these books and then try to read that much. And if I don't freak out about it or beat myself up. It's just kind of like rough goals of what I think I can manage. So yeah, that's that, and I have it planned out through a little bit. Like these ones, I know I need to get to certain amounts every day because they're going to be returned to the library soon. And so it's just kind of like that. The last thing I have to show you guys, this is my stack of books I'm currently reading, are like my papers that I stick in there. My markers to pace my reading and track them. And this is also something I've been doing for most of my life. I have memories of doing this when I was about 9 years old. And I love it. So these ones are actually papers that I cut out of like an old planner that's outdated where I used some of the days, but I didn't use all of them. So like, why waste it? So at the top it says the day, and I'm not paying attention to the number because only the day is poking out. So this says Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday because I really wanted to finish it on Thursday or by Thursday. And so that was my goals for that. I didn't start it yet though because I've been concentrating on this. So I met all the way up to my Sunday goals, even though today is only Friday. So like I got ahead in this one, so then I'll start this one and really just focus on that. This one I'm buddy reading with a friend, and so I mapped out how much I need to read every day for the next week, and we're reading it over the course of like 4 weeks, so that's working out. Another buddy read that we're reading like about 60 pages every day, and then this one, I stuck a Thursday marker in, a Friday marker in, a Saturday one, but I skipped Sunday because I knew for sure I wouldn't listen to it on Sunday, and then I stuck Monday and Tuesday, but I can take the Tuesday out now because I know I'm not working on Tuesday for next week. I wasn't sure until today. So, and then also while writing out all these things and while working on them, I listen to audiobooks, so it's something that I can do. I can write and listen to books at the same time. I've never had a problem with it. If anything, I'm worse at it now than I was when I was a kid, but I used to have no problem splitting my attention, and so I can like still be listening, but do something fun that like relaxes me and is enjoyable. And this one is really fun, the silver sparkly one, because I'm writing with the different colors, and it's just enjoyable. And Christopher said that I should show you these different markers that I'm using for each day because they're reusable. I'll use them. It doesn't matter which Sunday I put the Sunday tab in, it works for whatever. So it's just kind of fun and enjoyable, and I'm having a good time with it. And I just haven't had a ton of time to read the past few days because I've been taking extra shifts, and I go in at noon every day, so I only have like 2 hours to listen in the morning and then a couple hours at night, and not getting as much done as I would love to. Also, I read some like slumpy books, but I just love this, and it's been making me feel like extra motivated because I love hitting goals. Goal setting and making and then accomplishing is one of my favorite things ever. So that is my system. Feel free to use any of these that you choose to, and seriously, recycle your things. Or what I did when I was a kid is I wrote them out by hand. I did a bunch of stuff like this when I was a kid, and I'd like give myself like incentives and stuff and rewards for doing certain things. So now I have this mess to clean up. This is what our bed looks like every single day when Chris gets home from work and I'm still at work, and there's just books spread out all over the bed with like all my papers and notebooks and everything, and these are usually all spread out as well, and he's just like, what have you done? I can't even use the bedroom if I wanted to. He loves it.
So earlier I got back from work early because we went to the new studio to see what it looked like, and it's kind of weird. It's really big. It's huge. It's like, I think it's like 5 times the size of the studio we're at now, and it's just it was a lot to take in, actually. There's a lot of like teams working in there already, and there's a lot of things happening in there already. I mean, it's just like it's already been a functioning photo studio for different things within the company, and we're like a very specific team in our studio. So it'll be weird when we try to merge together, and how much merging together we'll do is to be foreseen, and I'm kind of hoping we don't really do much merging together at all. I really hope that we stay separate entities, but we'll see. Anyway, so that was interesting. It was a good to get to leave a little bit early though, and drive to this place, which is like 15 minutes from the apartment, so it's closer. I think the miles are still kind of the same from here, but the time it takes to get there, because there's like a highway to actually drive on, where there's not a highway to drive on to get to the old studio. There's no highway, so it's faster to get there to the new studio. So that'll be nice. Get there quicker in the mornings, which is very nice. And when I came back, when my phone died towards the end of, well, so I've been watching all week Lord of the Rings on my phone, like while at work. Well, it kind of more like listening. I have it kind of like a setup, like my computer, two computer screens, and I have the phone set up, kind of standing up against something, so I can like look at the screen whenever anything is happening that I want to look at. And I've been watching all of the Lord of the Rings movies since I think Monday. It might be Tuesday, but I think Monday. I've been watching them like all straight through, obviously, because it's taking me this long to get to the Return of the King. I was watching the Return of the King today. I didn't even finish it because I've been watching all the extended editions, and the two first ones, the extended editions are like 3.5 hours, and the Return of the King is like 4.5 hours. And I tend to not watch all the way through. I kind of stop and don't listen to anything for a while because I have other stuff that I need to be paying attention to. If I'm just like sitting there working on retouching something, that I can sit and listen to something, and sometimes I'll listen to that, or I'll listen to an audiobook or something, and so I go back and forth. So I didn't finish Return of the King today, but that's why my phone died. My phone was on very low battery. I forgot to plug it in while I was watching it today. Usually I plug it in while the phone screen is on for that long, and I forgot. So it died while it was still at the new photo studio, so I had to kind of guess my way home to get back here. I had a sort of like a slight idea of how to get back without needing to use a GPS, and I got back, obviously, so that was nice. But it did take me a while because I had to figure it out, and I've got it pretty much down now. It's actually really easy to get back. I just didn't realize that. So anyway, I have been reading Seveneves, as you saw earlier. Giselle kind of showed me in the background reading it. I'm a little over 120 pages through, I think. I'm really liking it a lot so far. I've been wanting to read this book for such a long time. I don't know why, just like I've been super drawn to it for a really long time, and I finally got it for my birthday this past May, as you guys saw on the vlog for that, and I've just been like really wanting to read it. So I've been reading it, and I've been really wanting to read some more science fiction, so I've been listening to a few science fiction books and reading this, and I've been sitting here doing more like world building kind of stuff. I'm basically writing down world building ideas, character ideas, plot ideas, and research topics that I need to look into. It's been really fun. It's just like new things come to me all day, all the time now for this specific story. Like things come to me generally pretty often. I'm like, oh, that'd be a cool idea to put in something eventually, whenever I actually sit down and do some writing and stuff. And so I wrote down a few pages worth of ideas that I've been having today specifically, and I'm going to continue to do that. Something I've been focusing a lot on this week, along with I haven't not really touched my computer very much all week, and tomorrow I'm going to be starting to work on vlogs again, the vlogs that I lost, the vlog edits that I lost anyway, the Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of our honeymoon. And editing Disneyland is going to be awful because I've already done it and I loved what I had done, and now I have to try to recreate it, and I just have this huge fear of it not turning out nearly as good. I might have mentioned that before, but anyway, thank you guys so very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.